Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Taiwan. Welcome to Taiwan Live TV. I'm MJ. Got my lip balm by my sponsor, Mentholatum. I jacked up the studio lights and found out that, I knew it. I just didn't bother with it. I like to run the studio lights low. I've got like a little light here. You see, it's kind of like a, maybe it looks better with that off. But anyway, this is like a warm light that, hey, Ken, run fist bump to you. This is like a warm, like desk lamp, you know. And it's next to the console and everything. Let me turn this off for a second. And I don't know. When it comes to lighting me, I don't know. Let's turn it off. But it's nice and warm. But I keep the lights down kind of low. And what that does is it makes the camera aperture open up, and then it washes out the screen. And this is another, it's actually not bad. This is a very cool light that I have that I use for when I'm editing in my drum machine, and it puts a nice, because it's a desk light. There are quite a number of lighting options here. So, trying to put a little bit below the face here. Of course, when you're talking, it goes like this, but I don't want to get too technical. Anyway, I was trying to broadcast an RPAN, and I think it went over like a fart, you know, in church. That's what I think. That's how I think it went over, but it's okay. But the good news is, there is an RPAN Studio. It's a studio app. It's based on OBS. It's designed to stream an RPAN. Now the funny thing is I'm just going to tell you guys, if you download that app and you try to run it, it's going to give you a portrait. You know, of course, you can change the output and make it 1920 by 1080, and you can scale it down to 720p or whatever you want. So I'm going to do that. I'm not sure how it will stream to people's phones, if they're holding it like this. This is my phone case, like this, when it's meant to 16 by 9. But it would be interesting. It might be like YouTube, where it's a little bit of a thing up there. Hey, Gert, how you doing? Fist bump to you. Good to see you. So maybe, the 16 by 9 might kind of fit within a frame of, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. So tonight I'm drinking rum. I got my favorite pink cup. I love big flavors and bright colors. In case you didn't notice, I wear a lot of Indonesian batik, stuff like that, right? And I love pink, and I'm very secure in my masculinity. I sometimes wear pink or purple masks. And I just got a new box of purple masks. My wife's sister gave me some. But I'm drinking Filipino rum from the Manila rum, and I'm sure that you're familiar with the Manila rums. Are really nice. They're usually made out of molasses and the sugarcane byproducts, and they taste like butterscotch and stuff. And sometimes I infuse these things with real Sri Lankan cinnamon, not the cassia type. So it does. And I'm going to tell you something. When I was a kid, I went with my dad to the movies, and we saw, I forget it. Somebody who's going to remind me. We saw a Western, and I'm going to say it was John Wayne. And he had his long johns on. He had a pair of jeans, and the tops of them were pink. And my dad's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. John Wayne this manly man is in this pink shirt. I don't think my dad realized that in those days, everybody's whites were pink. They just washed them together, man. So that's what happened. They didn't have laundry detergent and opportunities and wash machines. They found, oh, there's a tub full of water. Yeah, I got to wash my long johns, man, because it's been 3 or 4 weeks, maybe. And let's just throw them in there, that's what happened. So, yeah, there you go. Okay. And so what I'm talking about. He's riding up in his pink shirt. And my dad's like, oh, come on, please, please. It's like, no, that's like breaking a religious vow or something. But and the reality is it was an accurate depiction of how things were, you know. And so, I mean, even in this modern society, I washed some whites with something I shouldn't have. And that was the end of that. So what can I tell you? If you guys like westerns, though, gosh. I brought my DVD collection with me, right, to Taiwan, and I happen to have a couple machines that will play Region 1, right? And, you know, Region 1 DVDs. I don't get regions. I don't get DVD regions. I mean, come on, man. I spent, you know, I got like a couple $100 or whatever worth of CDs. You know, I used to buy them at Best Buy, the $5 or $6 or something. You know, I had hundreds of them, right? And so I brought them to Taiwan, and it's like, you got to find a machine that plays Region 1. Or sometimes I'll go, like, if I have to replace a machine, I go to the store and I ask the guy, do you have a non-region player? And sometimes they're like, you know, if you take the remote control and you enter this key on the keypad and you press enter, then it opens it up. I'm like, okay, thanks. So that's what we do. Because like, this is funny, like Dave Chappelle says, you know, Chinese people, they don't buy CDs. Okay. He said it, not me. But one of my favorites is Hang 'em High. And the reason that I like Hang 'em High is that in the first, like, 7 to 10 minutes of the movie, it's like just nonstop action. I'm going to tell you, like, if you haven't seen the movie, it's a Clint Eastwood movie, right? And in the first 10 minutes, I mean, before they roll the credits, they hang him. He's hanging from a tree. Like, and the horse is gone. He's just, you know, hanging, right? And it's like, hang him high and all this stuff. And of course, you know, I'm going, hurry up, roll the credits. Come on, you got to get him down for the, roll the credits, man. Somebody cut him loose, you know. So it's like, that's how you are when you're a kid. You don't understand the nature of movie editing and stuff. So. There's a lot of classic examples of that, though, of not understanding movie editing and things, you know. And one of the worst ones I heard was a guy was watching a movie. There's a horror movie, you know, and the woman's walking down the hall, and all of a sudden you hear that on the violins, right? And so you know somebody's around the corner with, you know, getting a stab, right? And the guy's like, look out, lady, don't you hear the violins? Oh, man. Can't you hear the music? So, oh, yeah. Every time somebody wants to stab me, yeah, I hear the violins. Oh, I know what that is. I better be careful. Don't you wish? Oh, I wish it was that easy. Anyway. So sorry about the, there's no exposure lock on this version. Yeah, there's no live status indicator. What is that? What is live status? This is something I haven't seen before. Okay. And Camera Pro. See, I can't lock the, yeah, I can't lock it. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh, I see. Oh, there. Can I move this? Oh, wow. Hey, I've got an indicator here that. Oh, I never saw that before. How do you like that? I learn something new about Prism every day. 30 frames a second, 4,000 kbps, and it shows my mic level and all that percentage. And I wonder if I can. I guess I can't. I can delete it, but yeah, there you go. Oh well, that was interesting. I can't actually change my mic level. And you see this? See when I got this up and the exposure goes down, and then you can see the screen better. You can see the, yeah, you can see the waveforms. All right, so what's going on with you guys? Now, I appreciate everybody joining me on Saturday. And Kenrod, I think, yeah, Kenrod, we missed you on Saturday, but Gert was there, and many of the old gang there, and all our friends are there. But I want to show you a couple of the shots that we had, and they're really, really something. Of course, this is Phoenix standing in front of the those buildings, you know, and she's on the rail, on the balcony, and then these pretty incredible buildings, really nice. Okay, I can give you some insight on that, Gert, and I'd be more than happy to, because I've explored all of those, and I have a little bit of more information on PRISM, and that, of course, is that Coast Guard Tri-Hull. All right, now, you guys know about live streaming technology. That is a BBS, a forum, bulletin board, basically, that I started a couple months ago, so live streamers could, you know, share information and so forth. And let me tell you about PRISM. This is what I'm using now. You can tell because, you know, there's the watermark down the corner occasionally. I get myself, you know, either into trouble or good things happen. Like I got involved with JTS. I contact all these people all the time. I don't care who they are. I mean, you know, I made some stuff for Brian May and sent it to him, you know, and I just like, and sometimes I get positive feedback, and very little do I get negative feedback. So I reached out to the developers at Prism Live Studio and opened a dialogue with them. And we've been going back and forth now for almost 2 years. And I actually invited Jake Song, who's the lead developer, and he's now on livestreaming.technology. But I asked him, I invited him to join our little line group that we have for live streamers. And there's only about 11 people in there, but there's, you know, guys like David Osaka and John Ho and some others that if you are into live streaming, you'll know who those people are. And of course, Ken Rod's in there, and myself, and Dean, and several others, right? And Coco's there, and Rob. And the point being, though, that we have direct access, basically, to the developers at Prism, and we can ask them questions. And they let us know how things are going. And, you know, they've been very, very open to implementing some suggestions that we've had, and they have done it. It's pretty amazing. And of course, I've had many discussions with them about audio and how to process that and so forth. And quite frankly, I have been able to positively influence them on a few things that they wanted to do, and some decisions, which is good, because, you know, that's what, you know, it's not just we're going to use the app and you know, exhaust everything, but we want to get something back too. Now, Streamlabs is an app that's a mobile. I'm talking mobile apps right now. Streamlabs is a mobile app that I have used for a long time. Not StreamYard. I'm going to talk about StreamYard in a second. The Streamlabs at one time there was no Prism. It was the best. And I had discussions with Streamlabs, because one of the things you could do on Streamlabs is that you can link all your live streaming platform accounts together. Like you pick a primary one, like it might have been Periscope at that time, you know, and then you would link YouTube, and then you would link Twitch and whoever else to that, right? The idea being that when you are broadcasting, okay, Ken, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thanks. I understand. See you next time. Thank you. The idea being that when you use their chat widget that burns, chat like this, this is native to Prism, and they also have a widget if you want to. So the widget you can place like in a box somewhere, and that's what Streamlabs does. So there is a widget that you could drag, and position it on your phone. And the idea is that it would grab comments from all those different places, and put them in one chat box and burn it to the screen. Now the reason I like to do that is because, for example, right now I'm broadcasting on Twitch at the same time. And I have Twitch viewers on the air right now, and they can see these comments. And if they comment on Twitch, you'll see them too, no matter what platform. That's why I like to do that. And now Streamlabs told me apparently I was the only one that was able to get it to work, and I don't know why. I didn't quit until it worked. I just figured it out. But then they went to this subscription thing, and I'm not a big fan of subscription stuff, you know. Now the thing about StreamYard is that it basically is a front end for PC-based broadcasting. Prism has a Windows version. It's not quite the same as this. Like, you see me shooting, you see me like playing back videos and showing, photos and things like that, right? That's really what Prism Live Studio does, in the mobile app. That's really what sets it apart. It also does RTMP, so you can go to Restream, or you can do anything you want with Prism. But it's mainly meant for live streaming. But the cool part about it is that it does have a video section. So see, like I got my logo up here and stuff. If you wanted to, for example, do a video about a whiskey, and then you could put all those graphics and stuff into Prism in the app live while you're recording it. And boy, it can save so much time in the editing later. If you've already got the stinking logo that you want up there, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to put it in later in post. It makes it a whole lot easier. You don't have to worry about dragging it in the timeline and putting it where you want to and all that stuff. It's just there because it's on the video that you recorded on the phone. That being said, StreamYard is basically, it's a front end for live streaming on a PC, and I never subscribe to it because I don't have a use for it. But it's useful for people who want to do like interviews that have more than one person there. But then again, there's a platform called Haps.tv. I'm not a big fan of Haps. I don't think their technology is that good. But if you're going to do a talk show and have a lot of hosts, a host and a lot of guests, it's great, but it doesn't support things like green screen. I got behind me in the studio, I got a green screen and part of a mass dampener it's part of my room treatment. And so normally, like, my camera's up here, and if I'm using PC streaming, it's this way, and the green screen's behind me, but on Haps, it's green. StreamYard, I think can handle a green screen. But for me, there isn't any advantage in using StreamYard because I can just use Prism, and I do the same thing. Our Taiwan company has a U.S. voice over IP phone system. It's made by 8x8. That's 8x8.com. And we have a corporate meeting space. It's much like Zoom, okay, and it's web-based. It's great. And that does broadcasting. It does live streaming to YouTube. So that's another option that I have. If I want to do a talk show, and I can just give people the URL in the description of the video, and I can do that on the fly. So when people are looking at my live stream, they can know they can click on that, and whether they're using a mobile phone or they're using their computer at home, they can join the live stream. There's a lot of different options. But in your case, where the videos that I've seen that you do, Gert, they're studio videos and they're edited videos. You put the graphics in and things like that. Personally, I don't see how StreamYard would help you in that case. However, if you want to get into live streaming, that's a different story. So, yeah. A lot of that has to do with two things. It has to do with the resolution, and it has to do with how big your hose is, the internet pipe. You can lower your frame rate. Sometimes you can get away with maybe 2,000, not frame rate, but your bit rate. Sometimes you can get by with 2,000 kbps, And you can also scale it down to 720 for live streaming. Yeah. But I wasn't aware that you did live streams, and I'm subscribed to your channel, so I haven't gotten any notification for live streams. If you do a live stream, I'm there. I want to check that out. That would be great. But Prism, I find the Prism PC app. You'll have to look for that. You know, just do a search. Prism Live Studio PC. It might be. Yep, it might be. Because I have a Surface Pro. It's an i5. You know, it's beautiful for taking notes, and I take it with me. It's really great. All my email stuff, web browsing, everything I need to do, but I can't live stream from it. I have live streamed from it in the field just once to test it out. But this is an i9, and it's this is the way to go. Nothing bogs this thing down. I opened up like 100 really big monster plugins on just to see what happened on the DAW, and it was like filing its nails and throw whatever you want at me. So live streaming is a different thing. It's a whole different thing. But let us know when you're going to do it, because the worst thing is when you're live streaming and it's like this. So what do we talk about now? Because there's no comments. I don't think you have a problem with that, because you seem to really have your narrative together. When you're doing your reviews, you know what you're going to say. It doesn't matter if people are commenting or not. But I think a live stream whiskey review would be incredible. And people can ask you specific stuff, because sometimes they have questions and stuff that you just like, oh, I never thought about that. So yeah. But if you're comfortable with just using the mobile phone, I mean, I'm using the mobile phone here, and you can't really tell. I mean, the quality is there. And anything that I want, that I have already loaded into the studio, which is any kind of media on my phone whatsoever, I can just show you. And this happens a lot. Like, somebody will say, well, show me this building that you talked about the other day. I go, okay, you mean that one? And they go, yeah, that was it. So it's like, just having this stuff at your fingertips is really quite amazing. And things that we talked about, weeks and weeks and months ago. I was talking about how people sometimes claim that they see angels in the sky. Okay, well, I have these pictures loaded in. It's like that's a cloud. We're talking about that. So we're talking about all that stuff. And if I want to give somebody my QR code, okay, so join us, in our on our line group, So yeah, all this stuff that you can do, and technology like JTS has these special microphones and stuff they send me. And so if you take the photos ahead of time, right, and you put them in, they're already in your phone. And these days, phones, the photography in phones, you know what I'm talking about. It's top class. You don't have to have a DSLR anymore. So you line everything up. You take the photos that you want, and then you add them to the studio. And while you're using the app, you just slide left, and it gives you the studio, and you just select the sources that you want. This right here is just a source in the studio, and you can resize it. If I tap it like this, if I tap this, I can move it over here. I can resize it. I can make it full screen. I can do whatever I want. And so that's really the advantage of Prism Live Studio. And there are some real-time things that help. For example, there is a broadcast timer, which is really nice, because sometimes you go, how the heck long have I been on the air? Well, I've been on the air 25 minutes and 13 seconds. It tells you how many people are watching. And I can do things like, if I press this and I go to the menu, I can go like this. So I can cough, things like that. I can even add chroma key, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. It is. And there's a version for iOS and for Android. Yeah. So, okay. It sounded like it went. I convinced you. It is. It's super easy to use. And you're welcome, to join the forum too, right? And even Jake from Prism, he monitors the forum for questions and stuff. And a lot of us guys there, if you got questions, we can answer you. That's probably the easiest way. Prism Prism does articles on Medium, but you can't really ask questions there, So if you go to livestreaming.technology, and of course I'll recognize your username right away, so I'll validate you, no problem. But the thing is you can just, ask all the questions that you want, and you can, I'll give you your own forum too if you want to. You can interact with viewers there, and you can embed your whole channel in the forums. Okay with me, so that'd be cool. Yeah, but the studio thing's a whole nother thing. And if you've got a laptop that you don't want to replace, and let's face it, because when I was doing when I was first building my studio, I had an older PC, but it was an i7, but I got it quite a while ago. I got a top of the line machine, and it's really high specs back when I got it, and boy, it was a trooper. It did amazing stuff, and then finally I kind of hit the wall with what I was doing, just too much. It was taxing it too much, but I used it enough that I was able to figure out what I needed for another machine, but I didn't want to replace it until I had to. And if that's the case, like with your notebook, you don't want to have to go buy a notebook just so you can live stream. That's kind of, so I mean, if you have to buy one anyway, then you just spec one that does whatever you need to do and can live stream too, right? But everybody's got a phone, and Prism will work with the phone just great. And gosh, I've done I don't know how many hundreds of live streams, and they're always coming out with new stuff. The coolest part that they did recently was the chroma key. And if you look at Ken Rod's videos, it's Ken Rod's live streams. He does the coffee break live streams. His background's all virtual, and he's doing it like in his kitchen. It's something. You just pin up a screen. You got this material, and this one is 2 meters by 3 meters. Is green screen material. You just put it on the wall, man, and there's a little menu up here you pop, and one of them is the chroma key. The only thing I don't like, but it just happens to do with the geometry of the camera, is when I go to use the menu, it looks like, oh, I'm gonna poke your eye out. Oh, okay. But so sometimes you try to do I'm gonna go around, but you still see my arm. But if I want to hit the menu, that's the only thing that you can do. That's the only thing you can do is like that. So, but it's okay. All right, so yeah, you're welcome to join our forum, man. Love to have you, and be good interacting with you, and we'll get you going. You'd be surprised, because it pretty much sets up itself, and it does have a you betcha, man. It does have a widget. Now let me just see. I don't think I have the widget set up. Do I? If I do, I'll load it just for a second and see what. No, I do. This is the widget here, and it's set all the way across the bottom. The problem is I can't turn this off right now, but the next comment that comes through will show here and the widget. But normally what you would do is you would turn this off, but you have to turn it off before the stream. You can't do it on the fly, I don't think. I think if I do this, does this hide? Okay, did that go away for you guys? Yeah, it went away for you guys, right? Maybe you can hide it on the fly. Okay, so chat view. All right, the next comment that comes in should go to both. Maybe I can do this. I think I can hide the chat view, and I think I can do this too. If I just go TEST, test, and I press this, send, Okay, that's the chat widget. Okay, and you can make that go anywhere that you want. I mean, you can place it anywhere that you want. Um, One of the things that we have requested that Prism does is that they put a timeout on this. So after, a specified number of seconds, it dissolves and goes away. Otherwise, some people don't like that on their stream. I know Dave doesn't. But the way this chat box is set up, it just goes across the bottom and it doesn't go up the side. So for now, any further comments that come in are just going to go here and push these up, and then they'll reach the ceiling, and then they'll disappear when they get beyond that. So for the fun of it, we can leave that here for right now, and you'll just get to see what the chat widget looks like. But that it's pretty versatile, and they got 4 different styles of it too, and they also have the different like text boxes. Like a couple weeks ago when I was showing people your channel, I put that up there. And so like it had, text boxes and things like for like Instagram. This is like my Instagram for of course it needs to be it's too small, you see. That's really hilarious. Because it's too small. So if I go like this, then for some reason the E has done a line break. But if you want to promote your channel, and the thing about those is like with this is doing it too. This has got like a line break in it. I don't understand it. So whoa. But they have different. I just got to edit that. They have different text boxes, for different kind of social media stuff. So, and one thing about this, you can see that there are 3 different icons on here representing the different platforms. So if I get a message from somebody on Twitch, it'll show the Twitch icon. I get a message from somebody on YouTube, it shows the the YouTube. So there's our chat view, and you see the test that I put in the chat view. So anyway, that's how it works. It ended up being more of a tutorial than anything else. I have other logos too. Like for example, sometimes because Taiwan being what it is and stuff, I have this logo too, which is for COVID-19. When I give like a COVID-19 update in Taiwan, I can put this one on here too, like that. So you can have many that are set up, and you can instantly make them full screen if you want to, or whatever you want, and then you can just get rid of them. So it's pretty cool. And I often clip out news stories, things like that. So there you go. So I was on RPAN a few minutes ago, and pan, I think, is probably a pretty good description of how well it went. It panned. But I still got this. This is unusual for me. I mean, this is going slow. This is like evaporating speed. Oh. The Deanston that I reviewed like the week before. Of course, Deanston, they do some great whiskeys. That went like, it's a fond memory now. But yeah. So it's 17 minutes after midnight here in Taiwan, and it's an absolutely beautiful night. I went upstairs because I was going to do. I want to try that because the one I had was you probably saw was the non-age statement, and the non-age statement one was fantastic. I don't know what's going on with this. This is acting really strange. I haven't changed anything because I did the. I was on camera Pro doesn't really do. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Anyway, I don't know why it's doing. See, I don't know why it's doing this. This is crazy. Hello, we there? Hi, we there? Yeah. That's the function of my camera. That's not Prism. That's my phone doing that. So I just tapped it because Prism does have tap focus, and that also works for the exposure too. So supposedly you could go like that and see, or go like that and get a, better exposure on other things. So on the face, or there you go. Anyway, yeah, but the Deanston is a fond memory, and that was just the non-age statement. The non-age statement was really good. I was very surprised. I was really surprised. That's 'cause they have them down the street here, and like one of the convenience stores has Deanston. I went in there. They had Glendronach 12, in the convenience store, and it was like 980 NT, which is like $29. It's ridiculous. And what did I see the other day? The bin, I guess I don't know how to say it, the bin Ryak. That's like associated with Glendronach, which is my favorite distillery, and they had that. That's the next one I think I want to try. And I saw your review, man. It's like, and so that has convinced me that that's a really great whiskey, and I'm going to arrange to have you on my show for an interview. We should do that. That'd be great, and I'd like to have you tell your story and talk about whiskeys, and I can just, that'd be fantastic. Because I'm sure I could learn a lot from you about whiskey, and yeah, that would be really cool. We should do that. I'm planning on having a new show, and I don't know if I'm going to do it on RPAN or if I'm going to do it on YouTube. I don't know, but I want to do a show called Late Night USA where I come on Taiwan time in the afternoon on Sunday, like about 1 or 2 p.m. here, which would be 1 or 2 a.m. on the on that side. And so that would be super late night there. So I want to see this. Oh, really? Really? I've heard some good things about French whiskeys, and other French spirits that I've had have always been high quality. So I had a French rum here in Taiwan a couple of weeks ago. Now, I didn't really like it that much, but it's only because I'm used to the Manila rums. This was like completely different flavor. But I got to tell you, the quality of it was off the charts. It was amazing. You know how it is. Even if you find a dish of something that you don't really like, but you recognize the artistry that goes into producing it. Oh man, I just knocked a fader cap off my console. I think it's stuck to my arm. I love the X32, but the fader caps are made out of plastic, and they're like, ugh, with that chrome on it. These over here, these white caps on the Ghost are so much better. One of these days I'm just going to have to replace these. It's the only thing that looks like crap. It's like having a 56, porthole Thunderbird, right, with crap hubcaps. Who would want that? Yeah, granted you could replace the hubcaps, but boy, what a way to ruin the car. But yeah, that French sounds great. How do you say that? Amoric double maturation. All right, I'm going to look for that. Yeah. I'm glad you come on here, man, and we talk about this. We get a chance to talk about your channel. So you guys follow, okay, the Whiskey Lover Society. Okay, and that's great, because that's not a possessive, that's plural. That's the way it should be. Yeah, excellent. So you're up to like, what, about 250 subscribers now? I think it's great. Yeah, we got to get you over 1,000. So at least if you want to live stream, you can live stream directly from the YouTube app if you want. But I think the YouTube app is crap. This is, you know, Prism is the way to go. It's bugging me. It's a little bit. I was riding home yesterday on the high-speed rail, and I did a little live broadcast on RPN, so RPAN. It does take a long time, but if you work at it, you can get it. I don't work at it. It's not something that you know, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, I'm just, what I'm saying is I don't care. That's what I'm saying. This is fun for me, you know. I do music and I do other stuff, but this is just fun for me, right? But when I first started watching your reviews, which wasn't that long ago, you were at like about 150 or 160, so you've gone, I mean, you've gone quite a ways in a short period of time. And so if you can stay on that trajectory, yeah, you're gonna be big. That's great. So I was on Reddit doing a broadcast, and I had my gimbal, right? I had my phone in my gimbal, and of course I'm holding my gimbal, and it's yeah. But you also have it's a good niche to be in. You know Horst and those guys at whiskey.com, and there's a number of people doing whiskey reviews, and I have to say that, you know, most of them are pretty good. But the thing is, I mean, there's thousands of whiskeys, and I mean, not even just talking I mean, once you include everything else, not just Scotch, okay, now there's a bazillion of them, you know, there's so many. So there's a lot of room for more channels doing reviews, but not everybody is good at doing it. You know what I mean? They might give a good review, but they might be painful to watch. You know what I'm saying? Or you just might not care for this person's mannerisms. But the other thing too is that, like, when I watch your whiskey reviews and you talk about whiskeys that I'm familiar with, and you'll say, okay, now for the nose, and I'm going like, yeah, and you'll say, yes, and then I realize, oh, this dude, yeah, he likes what I like. So now I'm going to watch him. And so sometimes I'll watch some guys review something, and they might review this and go, oh, this thing is like, you know, so they do, but we don't let that stop us, because people can give us likes, and it can kind of push the algorithm. But no, they do, because obviously they make more money. On the other hand, though, if they think you're up and coming, they can do that too. I mean, they can. So if you got somebody like, for me, okay, I already know this. So if you got some guy that's doing a review, and he goes, the nose, oh, there's a delicate bouquet of sakura from the mountains of Japan, and I'm like, what the heck? And it's like, oh, I smell the cherry blossoms, and then they taste it, and they're like, oh, it has the aroma of of peaches, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. And so I'm not gonna watch that channel, because it doesn't match up with my filters, you know. So that's just what I'm saying. So when I was watching you, and you were talking about, and I love those pop-ups, man. If you guys haven't seen Gert's reviews, man, you got to go check them out, because he'll say like, I don't know what he'll say, like, it has aroma of figs, and there's a picture of a fig, man. It's great, you know. and then whatever it is he's talking about, it's going to spice. There it is. I mean, I love it. So it's exactly, call a spade, right? And sometimes you have to go like this, right? And you know, you saw it was embarrassing. And the other thing, I took a sip and it went down the wrong way, and I'm going. It's like I was almost like, yeah, that's appropriate, I guess. So there have been some, right? Like Bacardi White. You know, my review of Bacardi White is real simple. This is a pure alcohol made from rum. It is colorless. It is also flavorless. And it is, however, very pure. And if you want to add this to a drink without adding any character or flavor from the alcohol, but just to jack it up so it's alcoholic, then by all means use Bacardi White. Otherwise, don't drink it. Use it for a solvent. If you got a little tar, you know, around the wheel wells of your car, just, you know, Bacardi White, man, and yeah. That's sometimes what it is, you know. So I like that. Call a spade, exactly. So you saw me. I was struggling. I wanted this. I wanted this so bad to be good. I wanted it to be good, you know. And it's a Speyside. It got like, how many Speyside whiskeys are no good? How? Whoa. And Speyside. I mean, it's not like this is a Highland. If it's a Highland and there's no peat, then you go, okay. I recognize it, so. That's right, though. That's right. The No BS review. And he says that in his titles, folks. Especially, like, you did one, what, yesterday? No BS review, right? Yeah, I saw that. So, it's like, okay, if this was a Highland and it didn't have any peat, you go, okay, well, I'm not surprised because the Highlands is really expensive to, you know, to cut peat. But this is Speyside. It's what they're known for. I mean, they practically, like, I don't know, toast marshmallows with burning peat. I mean, so I saw that. I was like, it's got to have the character. But, you know, I'm thinking, you know, not everything is Lagavulin 16, of course, right? But anyway, I have a little Taiwan whiskey club for certain friends of mine, and whenever I go to the store and I find, you know, some good deals on whiskey, I you know, I post them and there's pictures and things like that. But there's one that I forget the name of it. It's been a while, but there's one that I already have my next one picked out. But I really should do a show called Scotch in the Studio where we it's kind of like FM. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you know, and you hear the in the background. And we're going to talk about this this tune and how we can maximize the hook and then discuss that. But well, we have a little whiskey on it. But I'm going to need to do it on a sofa or something. So that'd be cool. But there's a guy actually named Gregory Scott who's he does a show called The House of Kush. It's kind of like that, just no scotch. They do, yeah. The nose, the taste, not much of the history. You know, you hit on something. You are so absolutely right. And this is what gets me. Because if you're like me, and you're looking for a YouTube video to watch, especially in the evening, you're winding down, I tend to look for videos that are 15 minutes or shorter. It's just how I am. And I find myself going like this. This is my phone case, but I find myself going like this on my phone. You know, going ahead, because it's like they turn into the History Channel. Like when I reviewed this, I just read a little bit that was on the back. I didn't go to Wikipedia and say that, you know, the distillery was started by so-and-so in 1799. It was sold to this and then no, because it ain't the history of the whiskey, it's the review of the stuff in the bottle. And so many of these YouTube videos that I see, especially the technical ones. Now, I'm sure you're going to relate to this because it's very similar. I'll watch a YouTube video about, say, editing multiple channels of audio in Reaper, which is the DAW that I use. And it'll be some guy, and he'll go, Reaper has the capability of editing video and working with multiple tracks of audio. You go, great. This is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I want. But then the guy says, there are many reasons why you might want to edit a video with multiple audio tracks. And I'm going, yeah, okay, yeah. And he goes, for example, you may have, and I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah, I know, there may be truck noise on this track. I may need to replace it. I may want to do a voiceover later. I don't need to know the reasons why. I just want to know how. The reason I'm here looking at your channel is I need to know how, because I already know why. I got a problem, I'm trying to solve it, so I know exactly what you're talking about. There's no need to go into all those details about things, unless you are specifically doing a history thing. And if, for example, you were going to visit Scotland and go to the different distilleries, then you might want to do a historical thing, and you want to interview, the owners and talk to them about the history of it. But if you're talking about the whiskey review, the thing is with a channel like yours, in an hour you can knock out several whiskeys and get a really good idea of what they're like without going through all the other stuff. And that's just, so when I do any technical videos, I try not to get into the reason why you might want to do this, because I know people that are looking at the videos already know why they want to do that. Right. Yeah, like when I wrote my articles about implementing the Dante network, the only thing that I said was the reason that I want to use a Dante network for audio between my, it's audio over Ethernet between the computer and the console is because of low latency, and that's all I said. And because everybody knows, and there isn't any reason to go into the history. Oh, it was invented in Australia by Audinate and patented. Who cares, man? Because that's what Wikipedia is for, right? So, yeah, man. See, I told you. Yeah. Same taste, same idea, same viewpoint, exactly. So that's it, yeah. Boy, that was kind of a rant, wasn't it? I don't usually go on rants. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. But anyway, so that was interesting. So I like that when you say that, and I don't find that offensive like some people might, but I like it when you say it's a no BS review, and what do you think of well, maybe I shouldn't put you on the spot, but whiskey.com. Horst, I think he's pretty cool. His son, I forget his son's name. It's been a while since I've seen him. He's pretty cool, and I think he has I think he has a good way of describing, the flavors and the aromas and so forth of the different whiskeys. I found that I disagreed with him on a couple. I do love his reviews, yeah. But I think, I think you're on that level, unquestionably. I think he might be a little too generous sometimes, because there are some ways. I'm going to tell you, and you guys know this, I live in Taiwan, and we have Cavalon whiskey here, right? Well, I've been to the Cavalon distillery, and it's like every other place in Taiwan. They got a girl, with a microphone. It's 110 dB, and you're right there. So No, he's not. He's not. But I think he might be. Maybe he's just more tolerant than I am about certain things. Because I got to tell you, I was at the Cavalon distillery and I took the tour and I went through, and my brother was there. The guy was talking in Chinese. My brother didn't understand Chinese. I'm just trying to tell him what he says and all this stuff. And then we get to the end, we go to the tasting, place. We sit down at the table, and I tasted every single one of them, and every one of them had a bite, like gunpowder. And it was like, I mean, I go, what's the nigga Joe do the alcohol content, right? And so, well, yeah, see, yeah. And I was like, and it's like, they're all 40. And I'm like, why is it biting my tongue like it's like 52 or something, it felt like a pipe or something, smoking a pipe, and that bite. And it just tasted immature to me. Now, I know Taiwan's weather is different than Scotland, and they say because it's hotter that it doesn't have to spend as much time in the cask, etc. So I don't buy any of that. And the only Cavalon whiskey that I could even sort of like stand is the Solist, because that's the one that has the sherry finish. They finish it in the sherry casks, right? So my friend had bought me a little sampler, like 4 nips or something, and I didn't like any of them. And so my brother came and we went to the distillery, and I tried them all. And I didn't like any of them, and I didn't even like the Solist. The Solist, I'm just saying I could stand it. And then I go over there and I'm looking at them, and bottles like $150, and I'm like, I'm not paying $150 for that, because these all these whiskeys here like this, these whiskeys here are like $25-$30, and I don't like this one that much, but I'm drinking it. If it was Cavalon, if somebody gave me Cavalon, I would leave it in my cabinet, and I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't even open it because I don't like it. If somebody came over and they wanted to try it, and if they liked it, I'd say, just take the bottle. Because, But I see, they win all these awards and stuff. They are overpriced. And I see all these awards that they win, and I'm like, what is going on? They'll do like the what is it, the Lagavulin Master or something? I forgot what it was. It's been a while, like the 21 years. That whiskey is like, put it on a pedestal, right? And they're talking about that one, and then the next sentence they're talking about this Cavalon, and they're like trying to act like it's in the same class. It's not by any means. So anyway, what they need to do is try Andreas Wiesner's spirits that he made for me. This is a German guy I told you guys about. My followers know him very well, and he moved to Hualien, and I sent him 100 grams of Sri Lankan cinnamon, and I sent him 500 grams of turmeric, and he made turmeric liquor. It's off the charts. It is, you pop the cork and you can smell the turmeric. It is just, it is. Thank you. I wish I could give you a hug, bro, for the Macallan comment. Because it's like, yeah, and that's huge here. And then the other one that's huge here that I think is in the same class is Singleton. That's just me. But man, oh man, it's like, oh. Well, probably getting in trouble here. But the turmeric, you take the top off the turmeric, and so sometimes you like to have a drink with soda water. You want like a cocktail kind of drink, right? And so I love soda water and ice. And sometimes I drink soda water and ice, and I just take a lemon, or We call it lemon in Taiwan, but it's a lime. This is like lime juice and soda water over ice, right? It's nice. But I want a little bit of flavor. Well, I'll take like a quarter of a shot of that turmeric and just a splash in that cup, and it flavors the whole thing. It's amazing. And a turmeric is like, it's off the charts, and the nose is incredible. But he took the cinnamon and he did something that I never heard of before. He added some lime to it. So I've got this lime and cinnamon liqueur, or it's a liquor. It's 42%, and the turmeric that he made me, and they're absolutely colorless. They're not, matured in any way. And both of them are just like, he knocked it out of the park. So I really, really would like to make that into a commercial product. But he said that, because cinnamon is one of my favorites, he said that he could design a formula for a cinnamon beer for me. So, of Singleton, you mean? I don't think you're talking about Macallan. You're talking about Singleton, right? I'm trying to think if that's the one that I saw. No, you're talking about that one that we saw. Yeah, that one. Okay. Oh no, it's a different one. Amrit. Okay, I thought it was the French one you're saying. I just have to wait for your reply. Oh, it is. Hey, one of my friends is from India, and he's married to a Taiwanese lady, and he works in Australia. He's coming back to Taiwan for a couple of weeks, and then he's going to India for a while. And he said when he comes back, he's going to hook me up with Old Monk. And so, if I don't know if you ever had Old Monk, the rum from India, it's unbelievable in my opinion. The 7-year, but I'm going to ask him about the Amrit. Wow. Okay. Cool, man. Thank you for that. And it's burned in the stream, so anytime I want to remember what it is, I just go back here and do it. Oh, so you've never had Old Monk? Old Monk is, they call it old battered rum, because for rum, 7 years is a really long time for rum. They usually, they run rum through the cask. It's usually matured, on the ship from when it leaves the port to its destination. That's the maturation process, sloshing around on the ship. But all joking aside, Old Monk is. There's an Indian woman that I know, right? And she and I were talking one time, and she goes, "Why are Indian men so crazy about Old Monk?" Sit down. Went over to my cabinet, popped this thing open. Said, "Try this," and she was like, "It's like liquid butterscotch. It's amazing." And a number of my followers that have been watching me for years know about Old Monk. They tried it, and they all say the same thing. Why didn't I know about this? And now I'm ruined. I got to get it all the time. But if you're going to do like a mixer, because I don't like soft drinks because there's sugar. But if you use like Sprite, and I made somebody a drink with Old Monk and Sprite, and I thought they were gonna pass out because it's incredible. It matches with Sprite. Sprite doesn't have the cola flavor. It's got more of a candy flavor, right? But Old Monk is, it's sipping rum, and it works great in mixers. But I usually just pour a shot and watch TV and enjoy it over like 30 minutes. It's just really something. So you might want to check that out. Old Monk, and they make several kinds, like Old Monk Supreme. I had the kind. The bottle is shaped like a monk, and the monk's head comes off. It's pretty funny. Don't waste your money on that. because it doesn't taste any better. Just the regular 7-year vatted. The bottle looks exactly like Old Par. It's got the kind of cracks in it and stuff. It's kind of a squarish bottle with a neck on it. Very much like the Old Par bottle. It must be the same supplier for the glass, because I saw a bottle of Old Par. It's like, wow, I thought it was Old Monk, and then I looked at it and said, oh, that's Old Par. But yeah, that was an Indian guy gave me Old Monk. Never even heard of it, and after that I was hooked. So my friend Ashish is going to be hooking me up. I'm going to ask him about that. I appreciate it. I'm going to ask him about the Amrit. Wow. You know what I'm going to have to do? I have an export license and I have an import license. I'm just going to have to start importing this stuff. That's what I'm going to have to do. I'm just going to have to place an order for all this stuff and bring over, you know, a pallet full of these liquors, and just I'll tell my wife we're going to sell them for a profit, but I'll just drink them. Of course, it'll set me up for life, but believe me, I take a number of supplements that are specifically designed for liver rejuvenation. There's a reason. There's a reason why. So. I got to go too. It has been a nice chat. Thanks, bro. We'll see you next time. You guys follow Gert, his channel, the Whiskey Lover Society. Appreciate it so much. I got to get out of here. I got to get some work done on this edit. I got to edit this for a client. He's going to release this. This is a record he's going to release, and it's actually a pretty nice record. So when it's all done on one of my live streams, I'll do I'll probably just play it, because Prism plays audio files just as well as it plays videos. But I'll do a link. So you guys take care. Fist bumped everybody. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Guys, take care. We'll see you next time on Taiwan Live TV. Have a good night. Zaijian, Wan An from Taiwan, the center of the universe.